We're live. Just just wait a minute. Just wait a second so we can confirm that people's watching us. Yes, yes, yes. We're live. We're live. Hello,
It is time.
everyone. Hello, everyone. There is a new, yes, yes. There is a new special event tonight. Tonight for us, it is a day for you, I'm sure. It's 9 p.m. in Argentina, and we are here with Claudio, my friend.
Hello,
This is kind
everybody.
of weird because I'm just pointing in
I'm
this
on this
direction.
side.
You are
Yeah, I'm on
there,
this
right?
side.
You are
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on this side of the screen.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
You're side.
thank you, my friend, for letting me be part of this.
No. You're
I'm
part
so
of this
proud.
since the
Yeah,
beginning.
but
Since the
it's
beginning.
I'm always thankful with you.
Okay.
I'm a bit shy of
It's
talking
just
in English in
he's gonna
front of
be
our.
shy just for a
In
couple
our
of minutes. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. This is going to be in English, of course, because we have a
yes.
special guest. A special guest that we're going to introduce in just in a couple seconds, couple minutes, let's say. We are just waiting for people to connect. We have people now. Yeah,
Yeah,
we are almost 70
I'm
people
seeing.
on board. So let's take a look to
Well,
the chat. Hello, everyone. Hello to our audience in español. ¿Cómo andan, amigos? Hello, hello, everyone. Yes, it's going to
queremos
be in
avisarles.
English.
I'm
Yes.
going to say to our English audience that we are going to translate some chunks of the interview so our Latin American and Hispanic audience can catch up with the conversations and all that.
Yes, sir.
So vamos a estar traduciendo algunas partecitas de lo que se vaya diciendo. No queremos cortar el flow de lo que vaya diciendo Will y Dan y todo lo que vayamos hablando, pero algunas partecitas las vamos a ir traduciendo. So, study English, my friends.
This is a good moment to study
Yeah,
English
you
because
need to
we are going
study
to start
English.
doing this
Yeah.
often. We have
Something. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. This is pretty common, people.
I keep interrupting you. Sorry,
Yeah,
my friend.
for those
Something important we need to know is that this live streaming is going to have subtitles after the live streaming ends in English and in Spanish. You need to press the clock, that spinning wheel, where
Yes,
you
sir.
say, okay, activate subtitles. And for
Yes.
our Spanish audience, vamos a tener subtítulos automáticos. Cuando termine el live, tienen que hacerle clic al engranaje y ponerle activar subtítulos automáticos.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
all. Thank you, my friend. Sorry.
No, it's okay, dude. It's okay. It's we have people here. Marcos from Collector Zone. Hola, amigo. How's it going? We have people from. I think I saw from Toy Quest 101. I think I saw Miguel. Yes. How's it going, brother? Well, there's a couple of people from different channels. So this is kind of interesting because we are expanding our audience to the collectors and the people from the United States and many other, maybe other countries who don't speak Spanish. So that's good for us, for everyone. The idea is to, keep bringing more artists, more people here, so you can know more about them, more about the art they do. We all do. And today is special because not only is special because of our guest, is because one more time, we have a full reveal. It's the second time at Sideshow. I mean, a full Sideshow reveal statue. It's a new thing for everyone,
it's
actually,
a new thing,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the statue was revealed, but Will is going to showcasing. It's different. It's different.
Yeah,
it's a different thing. Yeah, when you can see
with the artist live here.
Yeah,
it's like a special event.
It is a special, and this is a special live show. So we are 100 people right now. So let me introduce my dear friend, Will, and be prepared for those little applause, those VFX, because it's important. it is so important that we have those. Actually, Will said, please, as soon as I appear, I want to receive those applause from the VFX, the amazing VFX guy. So let me introduce my dear friend and colleague, Mr. William Harbottle. There you go. There you go. The applause is here. Applause people in the chat. Applause everywhere. Brother, how's it going? This is the first time we're doing the live streaming with you, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's
This
right.
is so much fun. I was listening to the intro and you guys, and I'm just grinning from ear to ear with excitement. And I'm so happy and proud to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Amen. We are proud
Welcome,
to have you
welcome.
here. Welcome. Welcome to our little home, our little
Welcome
channel.
or welcome instead of welcome.
Welcome.
Oh boy.
Those jokes.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's so good. So the idea here it is to, I mean, as I told the people before, as I said, we are going to showcasing your first statue. No, it's not your first statue. It's your first line. It's a statue of your first line, right? It's something like that, right? It is.
Yeah, it's the first piece that I've created for Sideshow. Yeah.
Sideshow. Entirely
Awesome.
by you, just yourself. Is that right?
That's not fair. It was sort of my project that I was leading, but a lot of people contributed. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, the original idea is your idea. Let's be honest, Will. Let's be honest. It's your little baby.
We'll get some applause. Can we get some applause here? I mean, like, where's the applause button?
It's applause, man.
Here.
There you go. There you go.
It's all mine.
Yeah. This is awesome. The idea here, guys, is just, we are going to have a nice chat, a conversation with Will, as we usually do with Claudio. And I don't know if you know this, but this is the second season for us. We are in episode 25.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for, I don't know how many,
since the pandemic.
150. Yeah, since the pandemic, but I can't remember how many shows we did. How many screenings? But in the past year, the last year, we have other artists here, people from from Santa Monica, from people who work in Avengers movies and different places, and all amazing artists. And now it's time, and it's time to bring some Sideshow guys, so Sideshow people. We are wearing the Sideshow t-shirts. We are like prepared for this moment. It's the Sideshow logo.
Yeah,
here.
look.
There you go. Here,
I
right
even
here.
have the
bottle.
Oh, look at you, man!
It's a bottle. Do you have that? You have that one, Will?
The bottle? Yes. Not with me.
Oh, not with you? Well, I have. No.
Really?
Where's mine? I also have my hat here. We are so ready for this. We are so ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's try. Let's break the ice. We have to start from. People have questions. People want to know a lot of things. But the first thing I would like to show it is let me show you guys to the audience this because ancient history. But this is so funny because
this is the stuff you study in the history books.
Yeah,
yes,
today when I was saying
this in ancient Egypt, these are carved onto the walls of
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because what's funny is ancient for Will, but for us, this is so vivid. Yeah, this is so present. I mean, look at the details. I don't know for you, Will, how proud you are about these statues, but for me, this is amazing, dude.
Awesome.
That right there was my first statue ever.
Your first statue ever?
Really?
Yeah. I had done action figures. I started off my career doing action figures, but I always joked that I'll never sculpt statues because I don't know what armpits look like. Since I only do action figures, it's always a ball in there. You know what I mean? So
okay.
Yeah. So see the girl that girl there. The reason that I gave her that pose, that was my second statue ever. The reason that I gave her that pose was like, look, that's what an armpit looks like. That's right.
Let me tell this to our Spanish audience because it's quite hilarious. So, Will lo que está diciendo es que la anterior fue su primera figura y él hacía todas figuras de acción donde tenía articulaciones en la parte de las axilas. Entonces no sabía cómo modelar una axila, no la tenía. Entonces hizo esta segunda figura, donde tiene las axilas que estaba viendo cómo era para poder demostrar que las había estudiado.
No, man, this
Bueno,
is
estas
so
figuras
awesome.
de Will tienen 9 años de antigüedad, y ya hace 9 años hacía
9
estas
years
cosas.
ago, dude.
9 years ago.
Actually, it
That's
says
when
9
I
years,
posted.
but maybe
Yeah.
you did it. Yeah, maybe you did it
Yeah.
like a 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah, probably
Maybe
more like 13, I think.
13. Well, that's even
13 years ago.
worse for
Wow.
us. You know, it's funny because this is your first female like 10 years ago, and I just did my first one, and it's so frustrating because I have so much to learn. You know, so many years of experience that I need, but it's so motivating, dude. Honestly, for real. I remember the first time I saw your portfolio, and actually, I didn't know it was you. And I think the first thing I saw was Glenn, this
Ah,
piece, and I said, "What the hell is this done in ZBrush?" I said, "What? How is it possible to look so neat, so clean, so perfect?" And I don't know. It's still, to me, when I see it, it's unbelievable. I'm sure you've been working with Maya at the same time, right?
yes.
You're just crossing. So how much do you remember how much did you do in ZBrush and how much in Maya? Like
Uh,
hard surface model in Maya?
I tend to build just about everything to start with in Maya.
Okay.
Now, some pieces, like let's say that chest plate, I,
Yes.
I probably didn't even touch it in ZBrush. I just brought it
Okay.
in. But other more organic things, obviously the fabric, the
The
face,
wrinkles?
the wrinkles, all that stuff would be just super low res in Maya.
Hmm.
500 polygons or something like that. I'll bring it in. So all the forms are there, and I got the edge flow the way I like, and all that kind of stuff. But then I'll, all the life comes in ZBrush, unless, like I said, it's super, hard surface. Then
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
But I
but
mean, it's
I really
so
love
good.
Maya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weird. I'm weird like that. Like I like to do things procedurally. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I know. Yeah, I know.
you blow my mind. I watch a video of you, and you'll take like a ball, and then an hour later, you're just talking and chatting, and an hour later, you got a whole freaking like head or a sculpture. Like you have this statue in an hour. I
No,
can't do
no,
I can't do like
no.
that. I'm slow. I have to build the parts piece by piece, and
No, but I mean, you can tell difference. I mean, it's so neat, so clean. I think it's the part of the process. I mean, we all have different processes to create stuff, but I in my case, I hated so much working with poly modeling, box modeling or whatever,
yeah,
because of
yeah,
the frustration. The frustration of getting you have to get always 4 sides polygons instead
yeah,
of, if you have 3 sides, it is going to do something
yeah,
weird. If you have 5, even worse.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
was really frustrating for me. So when I started working with ZBrush, that it changed the whole picture for me. It changed a lot. So I said I will
It,
never go back to. I have to
there's
go
there
back
are
to.
two people. There are definitely two kinds of people who sculpt, and I mean basically you and me are on the other ends of it because I keep everything super low polygon as long as possible. Like I'll
Sure.
pose it low poly.
Yes.
I'll do everything low poly. Basically, I use the move brush more than any
Mm-hmm.
other brush because I
Yeah.
just pull stuff around and do like that. When I actually it makes me nervous to go high res and start doing all that fine stuff. So I put it off as long as possible. I try
Yeah.
to
Well,
model. I try to model in as much as I can.
no, that's so good, man. It's awesome. If it worked for
No,
you,
it's
if it
actually
worked for
terrible.
everyone, I mean, well, I
It's
mean,
I
it's your process, dude. I mean, it's
it's
fine.
my
Yeah.
process. It is my
Yeah,
process, and it
Yeah.
gets me where I want to go. But
Yeah.
but I look at what you do, and it's just so natural, and it looks so much fun. But for me, that's not fun. That's not the fun part. For me, the fun part.
That's stressing.
yeah,
No,
it's
the
so
fun
stressful.
part is building. The low
Yeah.
poly part. I love that.
Uh,
Yeah.
I actually like doing likenesses in low poly.
look at this,
Oh.
dude.
Like for
The
a long
hair.
time, maybe 1,000 polygons for the whole head or something
Uh
like
huh.
that.
Cool.
Wow.
Is
Well, that's a nice exercise too, because you
Mm-hmm.
are thinking
it's
on
incredible.
simplification.
it's amazing how much you can get something to look like somebody, or even if you're not going for an actual likeness, but you're going just for like a pretty face. It's amazing how far you can take 1,000 polygons. It's nuts. You can like if you are doing a likeness, you know who you know exactly who that is with 1,000 polys. So the rest of it to me is just sort of the refinement and actually the not fun part.
No, man, this is so fun. We have a question on him from the audience from Ariel
Yeah.
Batagliero that it says if you did you started doing some traditional stuff or just directly sculpting digital?
No, I was traditional for a long time. And actually before that, just to give you a little backstory, I grew up like many of us, reading comic books and drawing superheroes. Now, I never could draw very well. I never got good. I don't know why. It was not natural for me.
I don't believe you. I'm sure you.
No.
draw very well.
I went to. I ended up eventually went to art school. And I got better for a few years when I was forced to draw all day, every day. I mean, it was pretty neat. I don't know if you guys went to art school, but like
Sure.
we would have classes like life drawing classes, 8 hours a day. One class,
Wow.
8 hours. And so you would just draw 8 straight hours. And I definitely got better, but then I got crappy again once I stopped doing that.
Did you also paint?
But anyway, so I did paint, yeah, but not realistic. I was more, artsy. Anyway, so I always had I was interested in art and I loved art, and I went to art school and stuff like that. But then I took a detour for a million years, doing writing and doing stuff like that. But when I was a glass blower for many years.
Glass blower.
Yeah.
Glass blower.
Yeah, making stuff out of glass. Yeah.
Oh,
I did that
cool too.
Yeah, no, it was neat. It was great.
Is that dangerous? Because it sounds dangerous. What happened if you inhale instead of
no?
just
I
blow?
heard that you need to be careful with the heat.
That's the first lesson. Don't inhale.
That's game over.
Game over. Yeah, exactly. You have burning hot glass inside you. Anyway, I liked it because it was a creative output and it was a great way to make a living while I was pursuing other things like my writing and stuff like that. But anyway, and then down the hall, I worked in a big building with all artists, all studios, like 200 different studios, right? And down the hall, I started hanging out with these guys who made toys. And I was like, wow, this is really neat, man. And so I started hanging out with them more and more and more. And the next thing I know, they like gave me a little something to do. Like, hey, can you do that? And boy, Dan, you may be able to relate to this, but like, I think it was that first night they gave me a little thing to work on. And I took it back to my apartment. And next thing I knew, it was 5 a.m. and I had been doing it all night. And I realized I've never done that before. Like I've never been so in love with doing something that I couldn't stop. And immediately so it was an accident. They just happened, this place just happened to be down the hall. But I never looked back. It was anyway, so I was traditional for a long time.
To know that.
And then I was actually extremely reluctant. The place that I worked for a long time before Sideshow was one of the first places to really do a lot of digital sculpting. And they were just getting started in the digital sculpting. There were a couple people. There was like one guy who was really good, and he had started like 6 months before doing the digital sculpting. And my dad was an engineer. If you know, so you know that way. Very technical. Always had computers. Going back, a million years. I remember being a little kid in the 70s, and my dad had a computer. Which was, nobody had computers back then. And anyway, so he was like, "Oh, you got to do this digital sculpting thing," and I'm like, "No, I'm not doing it. I don't like that.
What's that digital?
I kept telling him, "No, that's not sculpting." I kept telling him, I'm a carpenter. I'm not an architect. Like I make the stuff. I don't like do a drawing and let something, let it be made someplace else. Anyway, but eventually, I've told this story before. He and my mom came to stay with us for like 2 weeks one time.
Uh-huh.
I had not lived with my dad for 2 weeks since I was 18 years old. And let's just say by the end of that 2 weeks, I bought a computer. I spent $5,000 to get Maya.
Whoa.
And I took 2 weeks off of work, and I said, okay, I'm going to learn digital, because I couldn't say no anymore. He broke me. So I went digital, and like I said, I was super reluctant. I didn't like it. I thought it was cheating. It wasn't real. I don't understand it. After that 2 weeks of taking 2 weeks off of work, and I've never looked back. I couldn't even pick up a knife anymore.
Look at that.
But the thing was, I was better at the end of that 2 weeks than I had been in whatever it was, 15 years of sculpting traditionally. It really, and not to, we're not getting any kickback here, but one of the things that really helped me a lot was the screen, the screen that you can write on, the Cintiq.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense to me. I had tried, I had tried the mouse pad and, the pad and all that kind of stuff. And I couldn't connect with that. But this made the transition super fast. It really was comfortable for me. So anyway, that's my story.
Man.
Yeah,
that's so good to hear, man. Here we have a message from I'm sorry, Cody.
Yeah.
I just want to. Yeah, that one. Fabrizio Works that says, "Good evening, guys. The Sideshow's profile video of William years ago talking about digital sculpting was my main encouragement to leave traditional sculpting and move to digital." So that's a good
awesome.
To know, dude. Yeah.
I hope you're loving it as much as we are. I'm sure you are. That's really cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
And we have a question. A question here. It says from Teddy Unata. It says, should I skip polygon modeling to enter the career as collectible digital sculpting? Because I'm thinking I'm very bad in polygon modeling. What do you think?
I think that it's most important probably to do what you love. And if you hate polygon modeling, then you're like Danny, and your career will probably fizzle out and die. But so you can try it. You can try to do that. But no. It's important to do what you love. And there's, as we said, there's two roads to go. There's no reason why you can't be moderately successful if you skip that.
Yeah. That is true. I mean, at certain points, you have to do some polygonal modeling.
Yes.
Even with ZBrush,
Yes.
mean, with CMolder or something. I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can today, but nowadays. But sometimes I have to go back and say, oh, okay.
When you say avoid it, you mean avoiding going outside of ZBrush?
Not only outside of ZBrush, even with CMolder.
Now we have this.
How do you do it then?
Well, with polygroups and slice and stuff like that. I sometimes I think I waste more time.
You're like a caveman.
Yeah,
you're like a caveman.
I know.
You are a caveman building a rocket ship.
Dude, I'm trying to find a way to avoid poly modeling, and sometimes I waste more time. But sometimes I say, oh, okay, you win. I have to go back and to Max, 50 Max, or even CMolder. But CMolder is so good, but it's so different from Max. So it's like I have to, I don't know, if I have to watch tutorials to learn CMolder, it's like, oh man,
yeah,
really? I mean, I can watch tutorials for about other things, but it doesn't motivate me too much. But it's a powerful tool, so maybe I have to spend a little bit more time there.
For me, I actually learned them both. As I told you the story of taking 2 weeks off of work, I learned Maya and ZBrush at the exact same time, because I knew at the time, especially, this is going back to ancient ZBrush. I started off with ZBrush when they didn't have subtools. You just had one tool. That was it. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I started with it was a 2.5. Do you remember
that's
that?
around about. Yeah, that's around about the time. Yeah. So, but I wanted to make action figures. That's where I was coming from, and so I felt that I needed that really hard polygon modeling stuff to be able to do all the joints and the articulation, and so I had to learn them both. I'm glad now that I did, because, like as I said, I enjoyed doing that part of things, but I couldn't avoid it, and there weren't really any other options at that time.
In the chat, people is calling me the Caveman Bell. So
There you go.
people, yeah, I
That
have a
might catch
nickname,
on.
a new nickname.
That's pretty catchy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a personal question for you, because
Yeah.
most of your pieces are females. So I received this question many times. Like most of my statues are male, of course, because I just did my first female. And the reason why, in my case, the reason why it is because females are so much more difficult to to sculpt well, and one of the, not struggle, but one of the most challenging moments for me, or parts at working with Badger, it was to make her sexy but fearful at the same time. Like and if you go too I don't know, too strong with some of this point, it looks kind of weird. So and with males, it's easier.
You can
I would
push it.
say.
There's a lot more room to push, no question about it.
Way more. So in your case, why did you choose that path, female path? Let's say?
As you look at this portfolio, it wasn't always that way.
No, I know.
This is going to sound funny. This is going to sound like I'm picking on you on your own channel, but I did a lot more guys until you showed up.
Danny, you need to study about your guests, Danny.
No.
Do some research, please.
I don't know. I always enjoyed. I've just enjoyed it. I had the chance to do more and more and more, and so I was getting better at it. And you like to do what you're better at. That's just kind of, it gets to be more. The better you get at something, the more fun it is. And so I just sort of went down that path. I like doing the male figures. I mean, I had fun with Thanos, and I really had fun with Gambit. It's fun. Now it's kind of cool to, I do basically one a year, and that's pretty fun. So maybe it'll be the flip for you. Maybe you'll do 1 or 2 females a year.
That's true.
It keeps it alive. You know what I mean? You got to rethink a lot of things, and you're free in a different direction.
That is true. Here is a Gambit, in the motor, and he's an awesome piece.
I love
the card effect. That's so cool. That's so cool. It's true. Now I think I'm not preferring to do more female, but I'm more curious about what other female characters I can fall in love with. Because I think, to me, it is easier to fall in love with male characters to sculpt, because it's my primary choice, let's say. But now I'm just have a different taste for the female sculpts, and I say, maybe that character is kind of interesting to do.
You obviously, I mean, you crushed your first one, and I'm so proud of you. And I've told you a million times how inspired I am by you.
Thanks,
knock yourself out, man. Yeah, Nightcrawler. Did Nightcrawler too?
Nightcrawler too.
That was
Nightcrawler is awesome. People love it.
Yeah,
I remember. Do you enjoy this piece? Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
Exclusive. What was exclusive?
I think the swords. Yeah.
The swords. It's true. That's true. Yeah. And this is exclusive one. Oh man, the pose. Oh man, I remember seeing the renders of the smoke and everything. It was wow, that's awesome. Actually, this piece in person is amazing.
Yeah, it came out great. Casey Love did the paint job on that, and just really brought it to life with that comic book feel. You know what I mean? It's got those vivid colors. Like I have one on myself over here, and it just catches your eye because it's so bright and out there.
That's true. That's true. Well, we have a question from the audience here, Claudia.
We have one done a couple of minutes ago, where Yaser, one of our guys of our live streamings, said if Yeah, where do you get the inspiration for the poses on your pieces? Apart from the weapons and accessories, but now we were talking about poses, so I thought it was a good fit.
We
Uh,
actually mentioned this in the streaming I did at Sideshow. Do you remember? But we'll have a he has a super secret.
So that's how I get. That's
yeah.
where I get the reference. Yeah. The
Yeah, reference.
so you're asking about the reference or the inspiration in terms of the idea of the pose.
Well, yeah.
Inspiration
Okay,
for the
inspiration.
poses.
So the idea of
Yeah,
the pose.
yeah.
It's different depending on the project. Like this project, Richard Luong and I worked very, very closely together on it. This was a project that the two of us really, really wanted to do, and it wasn't top of the list of projects for Sideshow to do. It was something that we would get to eventually, but internally, some people were not sure about the character, but Richard and I were really, really sure. We really, really wanted to do this, so we did a little work on the side, and so that was kind of back and forth. He did like a drawing, and then I would do a rough mock-up, and then so sometimes it works out like that. Sometimes it's just 100% your idea, like this rogue. That was just an idea that popped into my head. Based on some conversations and stuff like that. But I wanted them to make her fly. You know what I mean?
The engineering was amazing on this piece.
Yeah,
I think
that turned
this
out.
one opened a couple doors for us to be more creative. Let's say.
Well, the first one was Martine's Spider-Man. The balancing on one arm.
Oh
Spider-Man.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's the one that really opened the door, and then through this followed from that possibility. But so anyway, so sometimes it's and then sometimes it's 100%. That's the design that you're given, and you do your best to execute what the project is. So the inspiration for the pose can come from a variety of places. But I think Danny's referring to then how do I cheat it?
Yeah, that's the second part.
The second part is once the pose is fairly well established, the design is there. I like to. I used to scan my wife, Kat, who your audience may or may not know is the painter, one of the great painters at Sideshow.
Amazing painter.
I used to scan her, but it wasn't working for me as well as I wanted to, and until one day I was like, okay, how about you scan me? First of all, she's way more patient than I am, so she would take her time to actually do try to do a decent scan. Now, keep in mind, this is an iPad scanner. It costs like $100, and your end product looks kind of like it was made out of bubblegum, like chewed bubblegum. It's really low res, but the proportions are all there, and it actually captures gesture reasonably well. Like you can see the tilt of the hips, you can see the tilt of the shoulders and stuff like that. And so even I forget what the first one I did was. It's probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm sure it was a female character. I was like, how about you scan me? And the benefit of that was you remember, you feel inside your own body, you feel that pose for the rest of the sculpt as you're working on it. So you bring it in and you use it as reference, and you can turn it around, and you can kind of you try to capture that, like I said, the naturalness of the gesture and stuff like that. But you can also relax your body and go, oh yeah, I felt that shoulder. You know what I mean? And so I gotta crank that over more or whatever, and you can re-inhabit those poses. So consequently, I got my folders of scans of me in my underpants doing all these poses. It's
a secret folder
for you all there. Yeah,
the secret folder. Did you work with the?
I did.
I can't remember the names of these
BTS.
guys. BTS.
Yeah.
What did you do? The faces?
Actually, I did them all. I did all. See, it's all cut and sew on top, but I did the head.
The whole thing. The hands and
bodies underneath. Yeah.
Oh, dude, this is so complicated, right? Because I am assume it's hard to get exactly from photos the face features, right?
It was challenging. We had, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember. We had some data to work with on their faces. It wasn't great, but it was it's always helpful to have a starting point. I believe I'm pretty sure. I can't remember now. Gosh, this project was really fast. I did like all five of them in I think like 4 weeks.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Super fast. It was something that we really needed to get through quickly. But I believe we had a starting point of scans for the faces, if I remember correctly.
Oh man, that's good. Dude, this piece, Satana.
Yeah,
I
that's one
remember.
of my favorites.
Wow, my favorite.
Yeah, I love
Well,
it.
not just because of the engineer and the idea, the creativity of putting her like in a
Yeah,
floating table, but the face features you did on this one is awesome. I remember that I took so many. I had access, of course. I have access to some place we work, and there's all the projects
Oh,
there, and I
okay.
see all the pictures of the face, the renders of the face in different angles, and I said, "Oh, this is interesting for my
Well,
podcast." So
that's
I took a lot of inspiration from this
wow.
this piece, man. It was
Well,
awesome.
thank you.
Oh, you're not seeing this? Oh, why not? Because I
No,
opened a
we are
different tab.
just seeing the
Okay, there you go.
there.
There you go. This piece is amazing. It's amazing. I saw it in person, and it
that's
looked
one
fantastic.
that piece is like you with Batgirl. I fell in love with this piece
Hmm.
the minute that I saw the design. Richard
The
Long
design.
did the design
Yeah,
for this
Richard
thing,
Killer.
and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like
Yeah.
there was like
Yeah.
a scroll of images. Like, oh, I really want to do that one.
Yeah.
That's one to go back to the previous question where I didn't change a thing. Like it was perfectly done. Just make it. Just don't screw it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to faces, Richard and Ian are two
both are the
designers.
best.
Yeah, they are so good, both of them, at female faces.
Mhm.
And Ian, I've worked with more on the female faces. So we have worked back and forth for so long now that I'll do a rough version and do store my ZBrush camera and take some turns, and then he'll do a draw over of it like really quick. He can sometimes get it back to me in 2 hours, and then I can revise based on his draw over and get it back to him. And so sometimes we make 80% of the progress on a face in one day. It's just because we have such a great relationship of working together. And so I've told him that if he ever retires, I'm retiring because Ian's genius is to be able to see unlimited pretty faces. Like everybody else, they all start to look similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
People have
That's
a
true.
style, and they all look kind of like such and such style. Ian doesn't do that. He'll take the rough that I give him, and he'll just make her pretty. You know what I mean? He'll stick with the face that I'm shooting for, but he'll just make all the changes that makes her pretty. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you do that? I don't know. And I just copy what he gives me. So
it happened to me at a certain point. I was making her jaw a little bit, wider because I didn't want to go like, let's say, to anime, those V-shaped thing. But I remember he was just making some paint overs and said, that's interesting, And it's like let me try. It is really hard because I remember they did a couple paint overs in different angles, but it's hard because it's not like a model sheet and when you have all these different angles that matches together.
But that's why I store my camera. And I have him do drawovers of my starting point.
So
I can go back to my original camera, and I know that it lines up. You know what I mean? Because my original lines up, and that's what makes it really quick. This face actually was Richard. And
this one is beautiful. This piece is beautiful. I mean,
I know
all the pieces are beautiful, but this one is.
I love that She-Hulk.
It's a green. I will kick him out. I will kick him out.
This guy.
Let me kick him. There you go.
There you
If you know
go.
Claudio
Yeah, now,
anymore.
now we can talk.
This was a yellow card,
Ah,
Claudio.
that's
A
a
red
really
card.
nice
You're not
Chico.
going back from the red card.
So I don't know. I don't know if everybody knows, but Claudio has been working with me on like my last 3 or 4 projects, and it's been an absolute delight. There's nobody who makes a better partner to work on a project with. So Claudio, thank you so
Well,
much. And I'm just
no,
teasing.
thank you for those words. It means a lot to me.
Oh,
You're
no.
going to make me cry, but no, I learned. Yeah, no, really, really, I learned a lot from this master. A lot. I really, it was a crash course to learn many of his stuff. I'm more into your type of sculpting on using low poly meshes, but you taught me to use an even lower poly meshes. So no, I'm really grateful for that because I learned a lot, and thank you for your words. It's an honor for me. Thank you.
My pleasure, man. It was a lot. It's been a lot of fun so far already.
Yeah.
Well, should we get into this thing, man?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
man.
start.
Is anybody left?
Time.
Let
It
me
is
put
time.
some.
Okay.
I think people know more about you right now, so it's time. There you go. It has a delay. It has a little delay there.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's oh,
Oh man!
God.
Thank you
It's
all
under
for your patience out there. While
Yeah.
we
no, I
chat.
think the guys are
Nah,
pretty
dude.
well.
This is
Let
part
us
of.
let us break down if you are enjoying so far the live streaming. Send some love to this amazing guy because he's. I mean, you will are quite hilarious and you are on the same
Yeah.
mood like us, so it makes things way easier. So, well,
Yeah,
thank
It's
you,
it's fun.
thank you
It's,
for
because
it's
having
I'm
me.
really fun. It's really
it's
fun.
because
Like
I'm so nervous.
no,
I
you don't look nervous. You doesn't look
it's either
nervous.
that or all the cough syrup I've been drinking for the last 2 hours
Okay.
to relax myself.
It's working. So it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
So let's talk about this. Your first line, Pulp Vixens. Dude, where did the name come from?
Well, it's obviously, I mean, it's a play on another thing, Pulp.
Okay.
So
I
it's
see.
in English. It's a clear pun. I'm not sure how much of it comes through.
Okay.
Um,
Good.
but basically, it
Classic
we wanted
60 movies vibe,
yes,
something like that,
we
right?
wanted to capture that magazine
Look at
movie,
this.
B movie,
Yeah, the B movies. Yeah.
the genre movies and books and magazines. All this stuff was out there in the world. I grew up on. I mean, one of my first loves was James Bond. So
Mm.
that's not a big surprise, I'm sure. So that's anyway. So Pulp Fiction just sort of was our attempt to reference all that stuff that some of us grew up with and loved.
Yeah.
From you can see this one's got a little bit more of a a horror vibe because like there's the Hammer movies and all that that great 60s stuff. I to be perfectly honest with you, I'm so addicted to the music of that period of time, the 60s music that and I'm talking about like the instrumental stuff, the soundtracks to Mission Impossible and that's actually he's Argentinian.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Lalo
that's right.
Schifrin. Yeah, Lalo Schifrin.
Lalo Schifrin, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
one of my great heroes. I believe he just passed away, unfortunately. But anyway, so I love all that instrumental, like big sound action movie music, and so I've been listening to that for 20 years, and it's always in the back of my head. And anyway, so the opportunity presented itself to suggest some some characters of our own creation. And so this was this is what I pitched. And, if you guys, if I can speak for you guys for a second, we love the stuff we love. We all grew up with comic books. We all grew up, I'm assuming, watching Star Wars and some of those, Predator and all these great movies and stuff like that, right? So we all share that. But we also, I'm assuming many people who are in this chat here with us today, we also love statues.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
it's not it. And so this project was 100% my love letter. Talk about getting choked up a little bit. This is my love letter to statues. I love this medium. I love what it's given us. And so, these are not unchallenging statues. And I mean that in terms of the collector. You
can tell, man. You can tell.
But we could have given just a pretty lady standing on a disc. But that's not my love letter to this medium. You know what I mean?
No, man. No, of course not.
And so from Kat's insane paint job, if you see this thing in person, it is just absolutely nuts.
I saw it in person. I remember that I was filming some stuff for Butker and all the pieces, and then I just passed over and said, "What the hell is this?" And this is a Will piece, and I just we were with Martin there, and we just take a look to the intricate details, all those fine things and textures, and above everything, it is the storytelling here.
Yeah.
It is. You can tell the passion you put it here, because I mean all. The rest of the statues we just saw are amazing. All of amazing. That we know that. But this one, it's it's different. No, it's you. It's you. As you said. Yeah, it's just you.
It had to be because we knew it was extremely well. So there's the challenge that this statue presents to the collector, because it's complicated and it's different.
Yes.
But there's also a challenge for us because people don't know this. They have no idea. We know Batman and Superman. When you see the Batman logo, that's it.
Yeah.
Just the logo. You supply, as the viewer, 70 years of story and connection. From when you were a little kid and you watched the cartoon to the movies to you had, your favorite cup was a Batman cup. And, et cetera. All that stuff you bring to it. Well, this doesn't have that. Now we're referencing, we're very, very clearly referencing the pulp genre of, action pieces and stuff like that. But we're also referencing, it's clear. We're also referencing pinups. This piece was really inspired by a pinup. There's a trope in pinups that I call like the startled beauty. And you see it it's a pretty lady and she's in the middle of doing something, but somebody catches her, and sometimes it's a little dog who's like trying to pull off her bathing suit or whatever. And she's like, woo. But this is definitely, she's doing something and she's caught. So that's the one side.
Is that moment? Yeah, is it in between moment where you're telling a story? It's amazing. I mean, all these details you put here. I love these tiny, how do you call these? The feet on the tank. It's everything. It's telling a story. It's part of the environment. I mean, it's not just an asset, a general asset. It's a craftsman.
So I struggled to. I wanted to feel like there was this whole world. Like basically, I wanted to feel like this was a series of movies that you just missed somehow, but it existed, and all that world was there and all that was created. But I didn't want to be heavy-handed about it. Like I didn't want the story to overwhelm the piece either. You know what I mean? So I wanted to get the story in there and have it feel natural. Like it's just like it's not in your face. It's just in the details. There's just like bits and pieces here and there that suggest that a lot more is going on. Now I know the whole story. I worked out the whole story. I know everything, but I don't really feel that it's necessary to tell it.
You don't want,
because
you want the audience to discover it, looking for Easter
and bring
eggs.
their own. They'll bring their own story to it, So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
why, anyway. So that was sort of the challenge of
And-
wanting to
Dude.
suggest a whole world, but not have it be crushed by all this stuff that you don't know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
and
thi-
it's plenty. Sorry, my friend. No.
No, it's okay. I was going to ask if this is the prototype or the production sample.
That I actually had to ask that question earlier today
Next
before
question.
we came on. No, and
Hmm.
it's the production sample.
Yeah.
This is
That's
production.
what I asked, because
I know.
this is a production sample, dude. I mean,
It-
this guy, just for you, the collectors, you're watching this.
This is what you
get. This is what you get. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't believe it. I mean, look at this. Look at
No, yeah.
the-
No. The anatomy
skin
is
tones.
extremely perfect, and the
No,
paint job. Well,
It's the paint is amazing. And
yeah, the shadows, the
detail, the
volumes, the
shadows.
subtle volumes. Yeah.
These photos were taken from Jeanette. Do you
Yes,
know
correct.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Jeanette is awesome.
She's
Look
a
at these
master,
photos.
right?
She's a master. Look at
It-
this.
At Sideshow, at Sideshow, we are so lucky to work with masters
man.
in fields. You know what I mean? Like the videos
Yeah.
we make are
Let me
crazy.
show you
Like
the video.
that promotional video that we did.
Yeah.
Let me show the
Um,
video.
No,
was
yeah.
so much fun.
Where is
And everybody,
Yeah.
speaking of music, let me set this up. This we got the license for the real deal Sid Dale music. Listen, turn up your sound.
Yeah, just give me a second. because I
Oh,
have to
geez.
put
What a
this,
letdown.
Wow,
Come
dude,
on.
this is first time. There you go.
That's not excuse.
Sideshow presents Pulp Vixens. Enter a world of kitten-heeled killers.
Ah,
Fighting
happened?
a
Oh,
sinister
come
shadow
on.
organization. High stakes.
There you go
Pay
again.
your,
Again. Let's
pay
go
your
again.
Sideshow presents
donation.
Pulp Vixens. Enter a world of kitten-heeled killers. Fighting a sinister shadow organization. High stakes and highly classified action. Meet the Pulp Vixens. Episode 1, Mr. Sin. Featuring
watch the whole thing. People
Ursula
watch
Strand, a stunning starlet facing down a madman.
What happened?
Anyway,
What?
so-
what?
I'm going to paste the link to this to this preview on the chat because we are experiencing technical
I think
issues.
this is not just my streaming. It is the
No,
software.
it's the software. Yeah,
It's
the
the
software.
software. Yeah,
It's
all
always anyway, but that's just back to the music and to put a bow on
Yeah.
that. That's Sid Dale,
Oh, dude, yeah.
actual late 60s, it's probably like 67 or whatever. We got the license to use that actual music in our piece. And trust me, I'm more excited about that than about anything
No.
else about this whole project.
No, I can tell because it's awesome. Yeah, it gives the
Oh,
mood
God.
to all the piece. Yeah.
I've been listening to this stuff for 20 years, and he's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And we get to use like these people. These guys are underappreciated. I mean, they're anyway. So, but check out the music if you want. If there's tons of it out there. Email me or something like that, and I'll hook you up with 100 hours of it.
Yeah, I think it's time
I
to.
want that playlist. I really
I'll
love
give it.
this kind of
I'll hook you up.
yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time for you to show the 3D file, the amazing 3D file. We're just sharing your screen.
Okay.
This is a real screen, the screen computer, and this is where the
It's,
magic begins.
So it's a big file, as you can imagine. So it's a little laggy to look at the whole thing, but let's just do a quick kind of spin of it here and check out the whole thing all around. Oh, sorry, I'm freezing up a little bit. There we go.
No, don't
Okay.
worry.
It's okay. Don't worry.
This
We'll,
is
we'll focus in on
Yeah.
we'll focus in on some different parts here and there. But like so, just while we're here,
Mhm.
the backdrop is obviously one of the things that's challenging about it in terms of for the collector. I mean, it can be a little divisive. Some people like.
Yeah,
This-
but if it's not
environment-
there, it just the story is not complete. I mean,
It's not complete. But, hey, we like people to have options, and that's something we've really been trying to do a lot more lately. So My belief is when you get the piece at home, you're going to assemble it just like this because it's really cool. So give it a chance. But if you choose, it's a separate piece.
Is it removable?
So it is not permanently attached.
Okay.
So it'll come separate in the box.
Okay.
For whatever it's worth. I can show it to you without that, but but I don't recommend it. But yes, you can, you.
Yeah.
So it's a different look, and it might be for some people, but those people are wrong.
Totally different.
Yeah. If you don't want the back part, please don't buy it.
No.
Danny, can you pull up my Pure Ref page?
Yes, sir. Let me show you. There you go.
Let me just zoom in on this. So what's going on? What's going on here? Sorry, I'm not very good at driving this thing just yet.
Is it middle bottom? Yeah.
There we go. So this is the piece. Obviously, this is the painted piece that I just took this picture from Sideshow. And as you may or may not know, this back plate lights up. But it doesn't just light up like any old light up feature. It's actually something that we've never done at Sideshow before, called a lithophane. And for people who, like me, didn't know what lithophane was, it's one of these. I just grabbed this from the internet, and credit to whoever picture this is, but you get the idea. The thickness of the material when lit from the back creates this crazy awesome depth. I'm sure everybody has seen one of these things before, but so that's what's going on up here. And when you see it in person, one more layer of difficulty, we actually had to paint it so it looks cool with the light turned off too. So it's fully, it's fully finished with the light off. But when the light comes on, you get this depth and this glow that's just crazy town. It's really, really cool.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Did you have to do something in particular in the ZBrush for this? Not really.
Yes, there are external programs and there are websites and stuff like that where if you send a picture, they'll convert it into this thing for you. So it definitely took some trial and error. When we printed out many different versions, but then the paint job actually was the hardest part, because how do you get it to look really cool when it's off? And I found out the hard way when one of our experiments that if you put the raised part on the back, it doesn't work. So you can't just put a decal on the front or just do a quick paint job on the front. It doesn't work. You have to actually paint the raised part. So in other words, you got to paint this thing, this top. And so I live.
That's so cool.
I
didn't know that we have these new features. Actually, that's a new.
Well, we just came up with it.
Try.
It's brand new. But anyway, I live with the painter, and so you better believe I heard about it. It was not easy. It was very, very challenging for her to, and it just took a different way of thinking. And so she actually ended up painting it on the back and the front to get the full effect. It's really, really cool. That's all I can say is when you see it, turn on the light and check it out.
Looks awesome. It looks awesome, man. So, and what was the most difficult part, the challenging part of this statue? It was anything like you say, this part I just spent, I don't know, weeks or days working on it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'll probably be. So let's let me move. Okay, so we got the piece there, and then let me zoom in here a little bit.
We have people here. We have people here asking for actual episodes or animated stories behind all these, behind these Pulp Vixen's line. So maybe you can pitch something to Sideshow.
Because any of you people out there are good at animation and you want to collab, maybe we can get something rolling. In all honesty, there's no real plans currently. Let me I can't talk without looking at you guys. So I got to bring you guys back here. Okay. There's I'm talking at my ZBrush screen and it feels weird. Anyway,
welcome to our world.
when I first when I first pitched this project, I gave everybody the whole story. And I remember, Danny, you'll appreciate this. You know, Ricky, who is not shy about sharing his opinion. He cut me off in like the middle of it and said, people don't got time to read the Lord of the Rings trilogy to buy a statue. They just don't like we don't got the time for that. And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I need to know all that story, and I need to infuse as much as of that in these pieces that I can, so that you want more and you add your own that's more. But there are currently no plans to dig super deep into sharing that. And now that could change. You know, I mean, it absolutely could change.
That could change.
People are into it and stuff like that. But we wanted these things to connect to you and your loves of that same material. Supply enough of the background and the story and suggestions and details and stuff like that, but so that you can connect to it on your own through your own love of all these things. But like I said,
it's a good chance.
You can't say never. It can happen.
Yeah, one thing that Lucas Alegretti said, this is how privileged we are to be able to see these things, thank God. And it is, well, guys, this is one of the reasons we push so hard to let us, to talk to Sideshow, to say, hey, guys, you need to allow us to do this, because it's so important to not just connect with the audience, connect with the artists and the collectors. This is kind of the kitchen of our, of Sideshow. It is where everything is made and how it's made. Now we can't show how it's made. We're not saying never. We are working on that. Maybe in the near future, we will show you a couple, like a work in progress, and how all the creativity path that we usually take, to get to this stage. But I mean, look at this: a 360 view, different angles, a zoom in, different parts from the actual ZBrush file. This is, I mean, I don't know how important it is for you, but for me, it's kind of crazy. Being able to show this to you guys, it is amazing. I don't know. As a digital artist, as a sculptor, having this chance is wonderful, and I hope you can appreciate this too.
Here we have two questions. Yeah. I think this is the magic behind the scenes. We have two questions about the paint that she has on her robe on the back. And we have Lautaro that says, hey, Will, have you paint the picture on the robe by hand, or it's an illustration created by another artist and place it there?
For those, can you show the Pure Ref page, Danny?
I'm doing it.
Oh, okay. So that's the image. And remember, for those of you who've stayed with us this whole time, both of you, thank you, first of all. But going back to the beginning, I can't draw. But I did draw this. And
did you draw this?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's clearly influenced and based on traditional
Japanese art.
It's actually Tibetan. This piece.
It's actually what?
But this Tibet, from Tibet.
Oh, Tibet. Okay, Tibet.
The country Tibet. Yeah, in Tibet and Nepal, that region.
Yeah.
So it's based on that style clearly. But it's I mean, this is an integral part of the story. That's life and death in an embrace. And if you see, life has a bloody knife because she's trying to kill death, and that's one of the key parts of what's going on here. I definitely won't belabor any of you with the story, but that's Mr. Sin's robe. Mr. Sin dressed her and gave her all this clothes. He was dressing her up. That's why she's got the ankle bracelet, which you'll notice is in the. Actually, I forgot about this.
Uh-huh.
The ankle bracelet is the exact same ankle bracelet that Life is wearing in.
Oh yeah. Now
Can you
now
show
you
it in the 3D file?
So yeah, it's well, I can zoom in on it. Yeah.
take note, guys, of this stuff because it's
Yeah, it's
it's
valuable.
amazing.
So there's lots of little Easter eggs like that between the book and this thing and etc. around. She's wearing this necklace with a little shell on there. Whoops.
Yeah,
there's lots of little details of the story around.
And
but
why she has 4 toes in the live feet?
what?
I got you.
that was a bad joke. Pretty much.
I got you.
I need more cough syrup. I'm not prepared for that.
It's awesome.
Now I can't get the model to behave.
Please.
There we go. She's got.
Look at that.
I don't know why it's not moving for me. There we go. 5 toes.
There you go.
It keeps jumping around.
It's a heavy fight. It's understandable.
There
of
we
course.
go. Anyway, so
Man.
so
Yeah. Each Andres Pinilla says each there you go. Each detail of this piece tells us a story. Yeah. We are showing twice. There you go.
And we had a question from Franco Carlesimo, one of our greatest friends.
Oh,
yeah,
he's
really
fantastic.
talented artist.
Yeah,
Let me find that. Here. It's what's the story of the little guy in the tank? Love that. Now you are showing the tank.
That's
so mean.
Yeah, he specializes in monsters, Franco. So I knew he was going to be interested.
Look at the texture, dude. That's awesome. The beautiful texture.
Oh my god!
It's a rock
dinosaur.
No, it's like a horse or
water buffalo.
A water buffalo.
It's a water buffalo, and you can see his horns have been chopped off. It's hard to see up in there. Yeah. And if you notice up here, Mr. Sin has the horns. That's part of how he becomes Mr. Sin. Well, Mr. Sin is his name. His name is Mr. Sin. But how he becomes this monster is through this process of that
experimenting with the
magic.
Exactly right. I don't want to go into too much of it, but there's a little bit of magic, and then there's a little bit of chemistry and a little bit of science and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Maybe one day we'll get into the whole story and stuff like that. But
I can tell that you don't want to spoil everything of the story. I can tell that you're trying to keep your secrets there.
Here's this is the rest of the base without the figure, and you'll see like that's his potion that has he took a big drink of that potion and started to transform into his other self.
That's awesome. Look
at the
pipe.
I love
could you zoom into the pipes? To the pipe. I'm just seeing other things, but could you zoom into the pipe? No, not the pipe. That one. The connection.
Between that thing. Oh, that thing is cool, right?
That's really cool. It's super cool.
This is what you can never do traditionally. I mean, like, hang on a second. Let me just solo that thing for a second.
Yeah.
And look at the text. It's supposed to be like one of those fabric covered rubber hoses.
Rubber hoses. Yeah.
So you can it's kind of worn through in places and stuff like that. But like that texture, man, I actually made that texture by hand. I did it. I created a 3D model and then captured the alpha from it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find anything that was that exact. I wanted that exact fire hose material.
That's what we usually say to the people who follow us is if you don't find it, don't spend days or weeks trying to find it. Just make it.
Yeah, it's actually It's actually not as difficult once you do it a couple times. It's actually not as intimidating as it might seem. But right. Yeah, I thank you for noticing that. That was a
dude.
fun. That was a fun
What is that in the border of the table? The wood tables. It's a kind of I don't know what it is. It's a kind of stone or liquid puring. I would like to.
Wait a minute, over here.
Yeah, but
that was the he'd told about that.
That was his
it was
no.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the other section there. The those little stones are stones in the just the border of the table.
Oh yes. So that connects to the staircase. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
If you enable the staircase.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's just sort of some
awesome.
rubble.
So many details, dude. How much did you spend on this? How much time?
Yeah.
You know, to be perfectly honest, the more
don't say 1 month, but because people will kill themselves if you say 1 month. If you want, if you don't want to
massive suicide,
just say massive suicide. Say at least 3 months. Let's say at least.
It was probably. I'm not the fastest guy in the world by a long shot, but it actually went fairly quickly because I love art directors, and art directors can bring so much to us, and they can elevate us so much. But sometimes it just takes longer because you're trying to please somebody else, right?
Yeah,
well, I didn't really have an art director on this. I just got to please myself, so I didn't have to think about it. I knew exactly what I wanted to make, and I just made it. And it's incredible how much faster you can move. So I would say somewhere, let's just say in the neighborhood of 3 months, probably just a little bit under that. But that's quick. That's normally it doesn't move that fast. Like I said, because you have to you're discussing everything and working it all out and stuff like that. But when you're
it was like working on a personal project or your own.
Not completely, but there was more.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of input from people and stuff like that. But ultimately, the most of the choices were up to me, and it was really it was exciting how quick you could move when you were making the decisions. Most of the decisions. So,
did you have your like an old mocap, 3D mocap, or you just made it for this particular project? I mean. Is something that you had like years ago in your mind, or a mocap, a 3D sketch, let's say? Did you have that done before this project started?
I did, but she was in a completely different pose.
Okay.
Yeah, she was standing up. I did a version of her where she was standing straight up, and a couple of there were other things that were different about it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
nice. Good. Dude, so much detail, so many small things.
It was fun, man. It was no question. I mean,
so good. The book is awesome.
Oh yeah, thank you. That was fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to tell the story about the pages?
Oh,
the pages.
Yeah,
the one. About the pages of the book.
The ones that you're seeing, or the ones that are separate.
Oh,
whatever you want.
That's a good question.
The ones you did it, the ones you made it, or you made all of them.
Whoops, hang on a second. I'm just trying to isolate. There we go. Again, there's you can see there's the goblet, the smoking goblet, and some of the symbolism. You've got the sun and the moon. Like I said, I don't want to spoil everything too much. But
no. But did you make these pages, right? Did you make these pages by yourself?
I had help. There were other artists who were helping me, but I put it all together. I designed it. We'll put it that way.
Those are amazing, dude. It's so. I mean, so many details, dude. It's awesome.
Here we have a question on Pablo Vicentin, another great sculptor, friend of us, that says, how can you stay focused in a statue that takes 3 months? And after the second month, not to try to change things or poses or design. How do you stick to your original idea? And, maintain it?
The alternative is you get fired. So
Okay.
provide. No, I'm teasing. We've been doing this. Whoops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to. It's jumpy. It's not me. I'm not.
No,
Here we go.
don't
Let me
worry.
just go here. If you, when you've done it this long, you build up some endurance. But I can't say that there aren't projects that come along every once in a while that you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this thing to be done. It happens, but you just have to do your best to stay focused. I mean, focus is a good word because that's what you really need to keep. Sometimes focus is regained by doing something else for a day. And that's actually part of it. So a project like this, if I was burned out on her hair or whatever, because I spent 2 days on her hair, I was like, oh my God, I need to move on to something else. I could go on and I could work on her, the back of her robe or something else, like, her, I'm sure you've seen it by now and when I'm turning around, but like the lace of her bra and panties was a lot of fun to make. Anyway, so you find ways.
You need to keep going.
Move on from what's dragging you down. And I actually, I don't know, Danny, I'm assuming you do this too, but I don't know. I don't think we've ever talked about this. I don't finish anything until I finish everything, basically. I start off with a sketch and I try to sketch everything in all at once. I'm talking about everything because, sometimes it's just as simple as stuff like it doesn't look good the way I thought it would I don't want to have a whole big chunk that I spend a week on done. And then I put it in place and go, well, that doesn't look great with the rest of it. So there's that. But also sometimes it's as simple as that runs into that. Like this hits that. Now I can't have that there because it's in the way. I want to find all that stuff out a lot sooner. So anyway, I try to sketch it and then I'm part of, I guess, maybe how I stay focused is I just keep moving. I'm always constantly work on that for a little bit, work on that for a little bit, work on that for a little bit, around and around and around. And so,
well, for me, it depends on the project. I think sometimes I just sketch everything, and sometimes I just have let's say, I don't know, an idea that is changing. For example, the base. Oh, I will change the base later, and then I just sculpt the entire body with all the assets or whatever, and then I finish the body, I finish everything, and then I jump in on the sketch of the base and say, why didn't do this before? It's like every single time I'm changing the way I'm doing things, and I don't know why. I think it's because if I always do the same process, I will get bored very quickly. I don't know. It's maybe it's just I don't know, something that is failing in my brain, or maybe it's part of the process. It's a creative process. I don't know. It depends on the project, honestly. But yes, you usually, would be smart if you just sketch everything and then you decide what is, I don't know, looking okay, what is not.
I've run into too many problems when I don't do that. But this thing was just so full of fun stuff to do. Like this little box was a gas to make. I mean, it was so much fun with all the little text, American Lab Equipment Company, patent, and all that kind of stuff. That stuff is fun, man. It's just.
It is.
Can you zoom it in? Could you zoom it in?
Yeah.
A little bit
Sorry,
more.
It's
it's laggy. Yeah,
it's just laggy. And I've actually decimated this. I've decimated this like crazy. The actual file was.
No, it looks awesome. Yeah.
Like the tank behind it is really blown out and stuff like that, but it wasn't when I printed it. I just for this talk here today, I had to nuke everything way down. This thing was like 5 times as big. But anyway, that stuff was fun. Like that, and then there's all these. Oh, there's the little feet that you were talking about.
Oh, the tank feet. I love it. Love the feet.
Yeah.
Actually, I see, Danny. One of the things that I love about you the most is you have. And I actually, to the people out there who follow you, I don't know if they really appreciate this that much. I'm coming back to the screen. Hang on a second so I can look at you guys. There we go. I don't know if everybody understands this, but Danny, I think personally, your biggest skill isn't sculpting; it's designing.
Oh, thank you.
Because
I'm not a designer, but
I'm not saying you are, but I've had the privilege of looking at some of your files in person, like you've given me some of them,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
like Batgirl's boots. Like zoom in on the design of those, and nobody gave you those. Like I'm sure that people may have roughed in some sketches, but all the details, the shape of the buckles, and the
Mm,
the flow of the seam lines and the panels and all that kind of stuff
mm.
is all you. And there is so much genius in there. So
Oh, thank you,
getting
brother.
back to the foot that you like,
Mhm,
I'm a finder of things.
mhm.
I found an old tank, and I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a great reference. I'll use this for the tank. And then I zoomed down. I'm like, oh crap! Look at these feet on this thing. I found a tank, and I was like, I'm stealing that. Those are way too cool. So I just steal everything. I mean, basically everything I steal because I have no imagination at all. Other than I feel like I notice things that look cool, and so I
Yeah.
steal. I know what to steal. In other words.
Well, when
Still
it's something
still like an artist.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah.
sure, of course. But I mean,
Still like
when
an
it's
artist.
about like the comic world, is easier to design because you know you don't have to be referring anything in particular from the real world. So it's just something you have to. I mean, everyone, every people have seen different. I don't know, Batman suit from different areas, different comic book artists, different artists who I don't know, sculptors, movie directors, whatever. All different, all different. So it is like a yeah, maybe you can do something kind of really weird, but if you just move between not being so weird and don't being so so lame,
You're.
it's gonna
I'm
have more
glad thinking about it
possibilities.
like that works for you, but you're being very humble. What you
Oh.
do. I remember the first time I saw Captain America's boots because Aaron, the guy I work with, was helping to engineer part of that, and so he's like, you got to look at this. You got to look at this file. You got to come over here and look at this thing. So I'm like, okay. And I walked over and I leaned over his shoulder and we're looking at on the screen and both of us didn't say anything. We just looked at this for about 5 minutes because Captain America's boots are just so cool, man. And like I said, nobody notices all this stuff as a collector.
Mm.
I mean, you don't just sit there and take it all apart. You step back and you go, dang, that's cool. But that cool is made up of 10,000 little decisions
Yeah,
that
Oh
are
yeah.
cool. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah.
And
100%.
all together, you get it.
they work as a whole.
Nobody focuses on oh man, the laces on Captain America's boots are so cool. Nobody thinks that, but they know that's one part of a
Yeah.
million cool decisions that go together to make this great thing. And so that's what we try to
Well,
do.
thank you. Thank you so much for mentioning this, man. But when you are having a good moment with that sculpt, when you have fun, I mean, you can tell. When you take a look at the statue, you can tell if you had really a lot of fun or it was just another project for you.
Yeah.
And most of the project I worked, all of those were something that I had so much fun, and that's why I'm challenging myself to try different things, because otherwise it will be I don't know, a little boring. If you
Yeah.
do this for many years, it will you naturalize that.
Yeah.
That's why
I,
sometimes I say when people wanna work at Sideshow, for example, or any other place, Sideshow is come on, the company in the world of collectibles. That it's not because we're working there. It is a reality. Then with the time,
yeah.
you just analyze it, and it is another work sometimes. And then you have to push yourself to say, "Oh, okay, no, this is not another work. I have a great opportunity here." So
Yeah.
I will have this chance. If I have this chance, I will
Yeah. How do I
take advantage.
how do I find in this thing that which excites me? The piece that I always come back to, the piece that I was the least connected to start with of anything that I've probably ever done was Voltron. I didn't grow up with Voltron.
I love
didn't
Voltron.
know.
Ah,
I
yeah.
never knew Voltron. Voltron, I'm old. I mean,
Yeah.
Voltron was way after my time.
Oh, let me show this,
But
please.
but you know, a guy who the art director Dave, who was there at the time, was passionate about Voltron. He loved Voltron, and so I remember he said, "Oh, I'm going to have you do Voltron next," and I was like, "That's a robot with cats on it." Like that's a robot made out of cats, dude. And he's like, I know. And I'm like, dude, that's a robot made out of cats. Like I got nothing there. And he's like, please, will you do it for me? And so I was like, okay, well, okay. Anyway, that thing turned out to be so damn fun that because I said, what is it about it that I can connect to and I can get into? Well, and to go back to the very first thing we talked about in this conversation, what was it, 7 hours ago? Yeah, 7 hours ago. I love Maya. I love model building. And so I just sunk my teeth. I was in Maya for 3 straight months on that thing. And zoom into just onto one arm or something like that, just because that's not it.
That is not okay, because it's not in Sideshow.
It's not on our site anymore.
No, anymore. Shame. I think it's sold out. There we go. But here you can see these. Look at the cat.
That's a cat. It's a robot made out of cats, dude.
Yeah. Did you make these with Maya or no? It was Maya, right?
Yeah, all that armor. We weren't sure what we were, how it was going to be produced. So all that armor comes off. All of the machinery is underneath that thing.
Oh, no.
Really?
Now the customer, unfortunately, it was not practical for us to make it so that the customer could take it apart. It just would have made the thing utterly impossible to produce. But we built it that way. So all those panels, it's all sculpted underneath there. It's all robot underneath there, dude. Anybody who's got one, take a look and kind of look underneath the panels and stuff, and particularly the cat parts, up in there. It's and we also had to make it look like, well, if it wasn't just an arm, if it was actually a cat, so all the arms. This went back to my action figure stuff. All the arms articulate out into they all fold up into an actual cat. You could
It's like a transformer.
Let's make one of those cats, man, in cat form. Let's revisit this.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Danny, I stole your story, but
no, not at all.
To get back to how do you stay motivated? You find the motivation in it. You have to.
You look for it.
Because you may end up sculpting a robot made out of cats, and you got to figure out how to dig that.
How to have fun there.
Yeah, sometimes we have the same kind of question that it repeats all the time from the audience. It is, I'm frustrated. I lost my motivation. How do I recover from that? And it is hard because it happens to every one of us.
It happens to us all. There's no question.
Very often, actually.
We have the advantage, those of us who are lucky enough to do this for our living, we have the advantage of sometimes you just go and have dinner and clear your head and revisit it the next day, and we get paid to do it. So
yes,
there is an added, I don't call it the motivation, but need to be consistent about it. We you just I got a house, I got a place that I'm paying for based on what I do. I have to do this. And if you're just doing it, if you haven't gotten to that place yet and you're doing it for yourself, I don't know how you avoid getting burned out. I don't know how you do it, because sometimes it's just the need that forces you through.
Yeah, forces you.
It gets you to the end of that project because you have to. You got no choice. I'm not going to go and what if I wasn't doing this? What would I do? I would be working at a McDonald's or something. I have to find what I love about it. I have to find what is exciting about it, and I have to come back tomorrow and get busy.
That's true. That's true.
So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how
it is
you would
hard.
do that. How you would put that on yourself. I don't know.
Well, I think it is harder for those who don't have that chance. Like
Yeah.
you're saying, it is okay. This is my work. Today I'm not motivated, but tomorrow I have to be motivated. But sometimes is that not even enough? It's not enough. It is okay. Oh, and I'm getting paid.
It's
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not motivated at all. No. You should be because we're getting paid. No, it's not how does it work. Sometimes it helps, but sometimes it doesn't, and
Yeah,
that's
no,
why
no,
it's so hard to find motivation. I mean, I find motivation. Look at the people who work with me, like you, like Martin. Well, now
great
of course,
point.
Cloud.
Great point.
The
The community.
yeah, the community.
The community can absolutely. I mean, like Danny, I've told you a million times, but to tell everyone out there, you came to Sideshow at exactly the right time in my life and in my career because you re-energized me. Even this 8 years later, I'm still. I mean,
Thank
like
you.
Batgirl, I can't stop looking at it. I enjoy, and there's motivation in that hatred that I have of you. So,
I love and hate you.
find somebody to hate.
It is the same
same
thing
time.
that I feel when I take a look to your art station, which is pieces done more than 10 years ago, and I say, how is this made? I mean, I should ask him. But it's awesome, man.
To circle back to what we're doing here today, the community. I'm so proud to be part of your community that you are building here, and hello to everyone out there tuning in to Danny's channel, and he brings great stuff every week. But to be real, we have we're fortunate enough to work together. But most of us are pretty available. You know what I mean? At least, it can't hurt to, I'm not saying we can answer every single email and every single,
No, of course not.
question and stuff like that. But
I do. Actually, I do answer every single email.
Yeah, well, he's a unique, special guy in the world.
You are
a multitasker by nature.
But it doesn't hurt to reach out, and as we were saying, we find motivation in each other and in the people we work with and stuff like that. Maybe that you can get a little bit of it that way too. Be part of these communities, learn from each other, help each other, and.
Dude, that's why we are making this event, the Dynafest, the one I told you.
Oh, yeah.
And
you want to come to next year?
Are you coming?
Exactly. We have a good news here. Is you want to come for next year, 2025? We'll
really?
I just realized this. I have to bring Kat because I need somebody to translate for me. So
exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
I'm sure people will love to talk to her.
Yeah,
of course.
we bring Zelda too. So the whole family.
The whole family. Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's why. Awesome. Honestly, that's why we are making this event because
it's very clear.
Connect people. It's creating more community, and the community we have, just let them keep growing. And asking
it's pretty darn cool too.
Yeah, man, it's really cool.
Mean, ever since I first got into this, some people, they always ask, were you traditional? And then, do you miss it? Yes, I was. And do I miss it? Not really, because the digital community is different than any other community on earth. Where else can I go to sleep and I wake up and somebody has provided free stuff? There's free textures out there, and there's free plugins for every program that you can think of, and there's or super cheap, or you give them $5 on their patron page or whatever it is, and you get like all this stuff. Who does that? I get better. I'm a better sculptor every morning when I wake up because there's a million people out there in this community helping me.
That's true.
While I sleep, it's just crazy town. So if you don't feel a responsibility to return that, then you're not cool.
Like feeling incomplete.
That is true. We have one of the last questions here.
Okay.
From Golden Boy. I don't know if you can answer this, but in case you can. It says, Uh, can will confirm if he's a sculptor of either the new Mystique or the new Dazzler pieces he's doing. Is doing the Sideshow. The Sideshow doing.
Yes, I can confirm
Oh,
Yes. Hell yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
that I
that's
So
did
this.
sculpt. I can confirm that I did sculpt one of those.
Okay, okay.
No, I won't. I won't
So
be coy. I won't be coy. Dazzler is so insanely amazing, and unfortunately, I did not do that. Steve Schumacher did it, and I've
oh,
told
the great
Danny. I've
shoe.
told Danny this story. Yeah, Shoe. He goes. Everybody knows him as Shoe. I told Danny this story. Like we've all, as we've been talking about here, we've all been doing this for a long time. We've seen everything under the sun. We've seen what we make. We've seen what the competition makes. We've seen what everybody makes. Right? We see it all day, every day, and you watch people walk down the hall who've seen everything under the sun, and they walk by and they go, and they look over and they go,
oh,
what the heck is that? And it's Dazzler, because it is so cool. It
oh.
I'm biased because my wife painted it, but and the paint job, I can just tell you, you guys haven't seen anything like it before. It is
Whoa.
so cool. So I did not do Dazzler.
Yeah, I didn't have the
okay.
chance to see, but you did.
I did
But
miss
you are married.
You
You're
did
married
Mystique.
to the
Okay,
woman
you're
that
confirming
painted
yourself.
it. So
that's,
in a
that's
way,
right, yeah.
you're-
Yeah,
I'm just
Mystique,
super proud of it. I'm super proud of it for Sideshow. I mean, it's not a character that is a no-brainer to make, to put it,
Mhm. Mhm.
bluntly. I mean, it's a character that there are 10,000 versions of her out there. So, I don't want to say it's a risk, but it's going into new territory, and for it to be so good, and you guys are going to be. I mean, the community will be blown away by how cool it is. What validation and it is to do these new, different, cool pieces that haven't been done a million times, and hopefully it performs as well as I think, and we get to do a lot more of those because everybody
yeah,
wants them.
of course.
It's just what makes sense.
cool.
I saw
Yeah.
the 3D files, but not the 3D files, the 3D
Mm,
renderings, and it's amazing. It's
Secret.
I say,
It's a
what
lot of
is
fun.
Dazzler? And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I say, what is
yeah.
this piece? Is awesome. I mean, and because of the composition, because of the movement and the everything is people is going to be crazy with this statue comes out.
It's not a piece that you see every day. Let's
No,
put it
not
that
at
way.
all.
For a
Not
lot
at
of
all.
in a lot of
Not at
ways.
all.
But
Yeah.
Mystique was fun, and hopefully we get to show her soon.
Pretty soon, right?
Hopefully.
I think so. Yeah, hopefully. Well, dude, I think we cover everything. I think I would like to share a little bit more of the. Let me share my. Where is my
Meanwhile, you
screen?
look through that screen. I want to
Here.
tell our audience that Will has launched his Instagram account, a brand new Instagram account called
That's true.
William Harbottle Sculpture. I'm going to post the link here in the comments. Show him some love. Go there, follow him, send him messages. Ask him for his secrets and all those things. But well, it's a brand new account, so he is around 60.
I got one
followers.
picture. I've got one picture so far, but it's
He has one post.
It's the only one you need. It's the only one you need. That's more than fine.
No, I'll be adding to it. I'll be adding to it hopefully regularly. I just I'm shy and I'm not good at this stuff, but I appreciate the opportunity. So,
dude, you did it great, and actually, we had a lot of fun, and I think people in the chat, they are showing you some love because they learned a lot. It was a great talk, and I think this is the first time you're here, but it shouldn't be the last one. I mean, we can do a couple of things with the time. Actually,
if people are having fun with this, post on Sideshow's Facebook page. Hey, we really dug that. Do that some more, and it will be seen. People see that. People read that, and we can open up the door to I think this would be fun to do, regularly and have, can you imagine Martin doing one of these? Martin would have a blast. He would be great at this.
Of course,
talking about, because nobody's more passionate than him. So and he's got a lot of great stuff coming up here.
Oh yes, 100%. That's why we.
He's got he had 3 pieces in the 12 days.
In the 12,
that's true.
Yeah,
3.
Yeah.
Dude, when people see when they had the chance to see a Constantine, oh man,
yeah,
that's one of the craziest pieces from
have we shown any?
If not the
pictures?
craziest.
Yeah, have we shown any pictures?
No, we haven't shared any picture. We just shared the.
Yeah,
we shared the teaser. The I can't remember what we shared about
the gravestone or something like that.
The gravestone,
yeah,
the gravestone.
Well, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it than that. Let me just say that.
A lot more. Actually, like 5 months of work or something like that from Martin. It was a crazy piece and an awesome.
Oh, and it shows, man. It shows.
Yeah, it shows so much. No. Yeah, it shows a lot. Well, that's why we are saying, we tell the people, if you're watching this video, but if you want to watch it, just share it and tag Sideshow.
Yeah.
So he's going to know, they're going to know that these live streamings are useful, not just for the community, the artistic community, for the collectors community as well, because you can know more about the artists behind the piece, about why we did, I don't know, those details. If you have any questions, you can ask the question and we will answer. And so this is not just good for us. I mean, for Will, for Claudio, for me, for Martin, it was for everyone. It's for the community. So share. It doesn't take too much time from you guys. It's just share, tag Sideshow, tag Will, tag Claudio, me, whatever you want to tag, and share it. It's easy. It's free. It's just I don't know, 2 minutes, and it's really appreciated. You can do that.
Yeah, it helps us to do more of these steps.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Yeah. Hey, Claudio, could you please, for one more time, you can share the link of Mr. Singh so we can
the trailer, you say?
No, the link for the pre-order page.
Sorry.
It's okay. So
I'm going to write it down.
We have the pictures here. The idea was to for the audience to meet Will, of course, and to know a little more about his story, about his passion. As you can see, he's very passionate, as we all are. We love this, and of course, we'll put a lot of heart in this piece, and you can tell, man. You can really tell. And it's awesome for us to have the chance to have you here, Will. Honestly, thank you so much for this opportunity. It is opportunity for everyone, I think, but for us, it is a lot because one of the first pieces I saw when I started sculpting, my sculpting career, was your statues, and it's crazy. To me, it's so crazy that if you tell me 10 years ago or 8 years ago that I was going to host a show to present your first piece as your first line, it was going to be like a joke, like really? Yeah. And
me too, man.
Dude, it's so crazy. So not just thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the passion you show and all the pieces you have done, because you have motivated so many people, including me, of course. Every single piece you just you sculpt. It is a huge motivation for me. I'm not just saying this I'm not trying to be nice. I'm real. You know me. You know I'm an honest guy, and this is a unique opportunity to all of us. So thank you so much, my friend, for being here. And
thanks
Claudio,
for giving me the opportunity, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
Claudio. Thanks for driving the bus.
Yeah, I feel like a toddler here between two giants around you two. But yeah, it's for me it's a pleasure to have you here, Will. You've been really awesome with the audience, with us, and I think that our audience really loves that. So you, with your way, or your magnetic way with your audience, I think I think people loved you during the interview. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for being a great teacher to me too. So I really appreciate that.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
That's true. Well, guys, I think we had almost 2 hours, dude. It happened so fast.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
Cheers!
crazy.
Cheering!
Yeah,
Awesome.
come on, dude.
Yeah. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah.
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 There you go. There you go. Okay, people. So thank you so much
Well,
for joining us tonight. But it
Thank you.
depends on what part of the planet you are seeing us or
Yeah.
watching us.
It's night for everybody now, just about.
I
Unless
think
it's
so,
tomorrow
right?
morning.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So thank you so much, Sideshow, for this unique opportunity for let us present our statues, showing the 3D files and having a show.
Yes, thank you, Sideshow.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for real for all your support. Thank you for the collectors who shared our videos and talk about this. And thank you for the positivity, for all the amazing comments and support you gave us every single time. And I would say the next time it will be maybe in February with when you present your next statue. Maybe
oh yeah, deep down.
we don't know.
When
We
we're
don't
going to
know.
do
Maybe.
deep down with
Yeah,
Hawana Kalili.
I would love to. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
That's so cool. That's so cool. In the near future, I'm sure we're going to do something with Martin
Yeah.
and all the Argentinian people who work in that piece. Martin, it was Clau, of
Oh,
course. It was
That's
Jorge
right.
Villar. It was
George.
me.
Yeah.
And actually, we can bring Bernie. Bernie speaks Spanish too, so that could be cool because Bernie
Oh.
painted Batman as the Joker, so that would be awesome. I would try to arrange something with Sideshow there, so
Awesome.
I hope they let us that happen.
Yeah. Get Cat. Get Cat on, baby.
Well,
Just
remember
next-
to
yeah,
pre-order the
100%.
Mr. Scene with Ursula Strand to not miss out that spectacular sculpture. And remember
Exactly.
to follow our friend Will here on his new account on Instagram, William Harbottle Sculpture.
Yeah,
Well, for me, thank you so much, Will.
yeah,
for being
man.
here.
With that, just remember that this is a great responsibility, man. It's a Instagram
A
account.
great power.
It's a great power that comes with a great responsibility of answering all the messages that people will
Yeah.
send to you.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
That's cool. Okay, guys. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Claude. Thank you, audience. And see you next week. Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.